Kenpachi shows Gremmy what a real monster is, in my review of Bleach, chapter 578. Beware the power of the Nozarashi! This big badass sword that has the power to cut up meteorites and have them explode into even smaller meteorites that go over the entire battlefield. That is how you open up an action chapter, my friends. This week's chapter of Bleach, just like many of the previous action chapters, was very brief, very simple, but oh so satisfying and had me raising my eyebrows a few times at some of the weird twists that were happening in it. So, interestingly enough, Kenpachi has his brand new weapon, the Nozarashi, which essentially is just a big sword which has the ability to cut through anything. That's the only ability that they have revealed so far, but that's already a pretty ridiculous ability when you really think about it. Now, take a step back. We've seen series with characters with swords who've had the ability to claim to cut through anything. However, I think if they take the concept of the Nozarashi even further, the ability of things that he's able to cut, I think this could end up turning into a really interesting Zanpakuto. Not to mention that it's still in its Shikai state. But at this point in the battle, Gremmy is starting to get a little frustrated over the fact that no matter what he's throwing at Kenpachi, nothing is working. And also at the same time, he's starting to realize that he wants to win this fight. This is the first time that he's ever really wanted this to happen. Gremmy uses his imagination abilities in a lot of really interesting ways this week. I especially like when he sent Kenpachi through this vacuum of space. And if you don't know, if you're in space and you're a human, you're gonna die because all your bodily fluids are just going to erupt from your body. If you have any wounds, they're going to boil. You're pretty much going to explode and implode from every part of your body and just die from the vacuum of space. But since Kenpachi is such a hard ass, he just hardens his entire body and manages to cut through one of the clones of Gremmy. And he manages to create a lot of the other clones of himself, which one of them actually has a massive bomb on him, and they all grab onto Kenpachi, and there's a huge explosion, which gives us our big, stereotypical, big, badass manga scene where you get to see the smoke clearing and Kenpachi walking right through it. And this is when Gremmy starts to get really, really angry, and this is where the craziest part of the chapter came in. It was quite a nice twist. He said that if he's going to become as strong as Kenpachi, that's the only way he's going to be able to beat him. So he imagines himself becoming like a monster like him. The only problem is he has no way to control it, and literally his own power is killing him from the inside out. And even in the final panel, you can see that Gremmy has a brand new body. He's big and jacked, just like Kenpachi, but his own power is starting to kill him. You can see his body is starting to degrade. You can see, like, his ribs are coming out from his side, and it's strange. He sort of maybe ended up killing himself, and this might be a way so that we don't have to see Kenpachi kill a kid. But I'm still holding firm that this is not going to be the end of this battle. I guarantee this might be another trick of sorts by Gremmy. I still think we're going to see a lot more from Kenpachi. He's one of the major powers of this final arc. But otherwise, this was a pretty short chapter of Bleach, but it was still very exciting with a lot of, oddly enough, imagination coming from Gremmy. I think he's one of the more interesting Quincy characters we've seen, mostly because his abilities allow him to pretty much do whatever the hell he wants. But none of that even matters when you're going up against Kenpachi, the guy who can cut through anything. But other little perks about this week's chapter that were good, most of the artwork was really good this week. A lot of the close-up shots of Gremmy getting really pissed off in that shot at the end where he was transformed looked really gruesome and badass. The scene where Kenpachi was in space and they had the close-up shots of, like, his eye fluid, like, starting to come up out of his eye and all the, like, blood erupting into the air. I thought that looked really metal and just really badass as hell. But otherwise, like I said, I still love that scene at the beginning where you see all the different chunks of the meteorite just slamming into the city. It just looks really great, and it sets up this battle nicely, which may or may not be done yet. Still don't think it's going to end like this. I still want to see a lot more from Kenpachi because he's just so incredibly awesome right now. And maybe I'd like to see a little bit more from Yachiru. And hell, wouldn't even mind seeing the main character Ichigo. What I will say again is, and I've said this many, many times before, holy crap, I want the anime version to come back so bad because this would just be so incredible. Every single time I read the Bleach manga, I sometimes put, like, the anime music from the Bleach series on because it sort of enhances, like, what's going on when I'm reading it. And when I was reading it this week, I was listening to the classic song, which I believe is called On the Precipice of Defeat, which starts off with that really awesome guitar solo, and it just really fit with this week's chapter. So if you guys want to sort of relive the Bleach anime, try doing that. It's sort of like the next best thing. And if it's any consolation, the Bleach manga is pretty nice to look at. All the character designs are always really slick and really awesome looking. The backgrounds tend to always be that standard just white because that's what Kubo likes to do. He likes to put more focus on the actual characters, on the action, so that way you always look at them only and nothing else. So it's really not all that bad, and it sort of goes with the entire theme and thematics of the entire series. But this was an exciting chapter that if you're a fan of the series, definitely check it out. It, like a lot of the other chapters, was a little slow, but it was really exciting. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was really awesome. It was great to see Kenpachi with his brand new sword this week, him just swinging it around like it's not even a problem. And I can't wait to see what's actually going to happen to Gremmy. Will he live? Will he die? So check out this week's chapter, guys. Pretty exciting. If you guys had a chance to check out this week's chapter of Bleach, I would love to know what you thought about it. And you can tell me with your comments below. Do you think Gremmy has actually been defeated, or is this just some sort of trick? And when are the other characters going to appear in this final arc of Bleach? And what do you want to see from the final arc of Bleach? Remember, guys, before you leave, make sure and give this video a like, give it a thumbs up. It really helps these videos out a lot. And if you want to see all of our latest anime and manga reviews, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's very easy to do, and it helps us out tremendously. And if you guys want to see us on Facebook and Twitter, I'll put links to both of those in the description box below. So, I'll see you next time, guys. Super Kami Guru 9000, out.